Good morning, Alex and friends. I'm Grace. Today is Tuesday, December 17th, 2024, and you're listening to Alex's News. The weather in Riverside will reach a pleasant high of 74.7 degrees today, with a low of 54.4 degrees. Coming up, we'll examine the complex security measures being implemented to safeguard jurors in the Trump trial, and explore California's innovative initiative to create new career opportunities for residents who don't have college degrees. Plus, we'll delve into groundbreaking medical research that could revolutionize organ transplants using pig kidneys, potentially offering hope to thousands of patients on waiting lists. All this and more, coming up on Alex's News. Stay tuned. We begin tonight with new developments in the upcoming criminal trial of former President Donald Trump, where the judge has issued strict orders regarding media coverage of potential jurors. With more on this story, we're joined by our legal affairs correspondent, Ethan Parker. Ethan, tell us about these new restrictions.
Thanks, Grace. Judge Juan Merchan has taken significant steps to protect juror privacy in this high-profile case. The most notable restriction is a complete ban on media outlets reporting where potential jurors work both current and past employment. This comes after one juror had to be dismissed due to concerns about being identified.
What specific instructions has Judge Merchan given to the media?
According to court proceedings, the judge has directed reporters to use common sense in their coverage. This means avoiding any descriptions of jurors' physical appearances or other identifying details that could compromise their anonymity.
How does this compare to other high-profile cases we've seen in the past?
Well, Grace, there's an interesting parallel here. In the 1992 John Gotti trial, similar protective measures were implemented, including complete juror anonymity and sequestration. Those measures proved successful in securing a conviction after previous trials had been compromised by jury tampering.
What's the legal foundation for these kinds of restrictions, Ethan?
The legal basis is quite fascinating, Grace. While the First Amendment does provide a qualified right of access to juror information, as established in the case in Globe Newspaper Company, this right isn't absolute. Courts have consistently recognized that in exceptional cases, especially when there are credible threats of jury tampering or risks to personal safety, these protective measures are necessary.
And how are these restrictions being balanced against press freedom?
That's really the key challenge here, Grace. While Judge Merchan has significant authority to protect jurors, he can't completely control media reporting. What he can do is restrict what information becomes available from the courtroom itself. Given the intense public interest in this case and the strong opinions surrounding former President Trump, these protective measures are seen as crucial for ensuring a fair trial.
Thank you for that comprehensive breakdown, Ethan. We'll continue to follow this story as it develops. We turn now to a developing story about California's ambitious new plan to help millions of adults without college degrees secure better employment opportunities. Joining us with more details is our Sacramento correspondent, Chloe Martinez. Chloe?
Thanks, Grace. According to reporting from Cal Matters, Governor Gavin Newsom has just unveiled what's being called the Master Plan for Career Education during an appearance at Shasta College in Redding. This comprehensive initiative aims to assist more than 7 million California adults who currently don't have college degrees and often find themselves in lower-paying positions.
What are some of the key elements of this plan, Chloe?
Well, Grace, there are three major components. First, California's community college system, which includes 116 institutions, will begin converting work experience into college credits. The Lost Coast Outpost reports they're targeting to help at least 250,000 students through this program. Second, they're introducing something called a career passport. Think of it as a new type of transcript that shows both academic achievements and real-world professional skills.
And I understand there are some significant changes coming to state employment requirements as well?
That's right, Grace. The state has already removed degree requirements from about 30,000 state jobs, and according to Cal Matters, they're planning to do the same for an additional 30,000 positions over the next year. The focus is shifting from requiring degrees to looking at actual skills and capabilities.
Has there been any pushback or challenges to implementing these changes?
Yes, there have been some legislative hurdles. A bill proposed by Assemblymember Rebecca Bauer-Kahan that would have made college degree requirements the exception rather than the standard didn't make it through the legislature. That bill would have affected approximately 200,000 state positions.
Thank you for that comprehensive report, Chloe. We'll be sure to keep our viewers updated as this story develops. Here are some other headlines. Global security experts are raising alarms as nuclear weapons spending reached a staggering $91.4 billion last year. The number of operational nuclear warheads is increasing, despite a slight decrease in total global stockpiles. China alone has added 90 warheads to its arsenal. In Moscow, Lieutenant General Igor Kirillov, head of Russia's Radiation, Chemical, and Biological Protection Troops, was killed in a bomb blast outside his apartment. Ukraine's security service has claimed responsibility, calling Kirillov a war criminal due to alleged chemical weapons use against Ukrainian forces. A devastating 7.3 magnitude earthquake has struck Vanuatu, causing widespread destruction in the capital city of Port Vila. At least 6 people are confirmed dead, with buildings collapsed, including the U.S. Embassy. 2 bridges are down, and rescue operations are ongoing. Former TV host Carlos Watson has been sentenced to nearly 10 years in prison for financial conspiracy related to his media startup, Aussie Media. Prosecutors proved Watson deceived investors with inflated revenue numbers and fake business deals, including having an executive impersonate a YouTube representative. In Madison, Wisconsin, a tragic shooting at Abundant Life Christian School has left 3 dead, including the 15-year-old shooter and 6 others injured. The incident began during a study hall session when the shooter, identified as Natalie Repnow, killed a teacher and student before taking her own life. 2 victims remain in critical condition. And now for our third story this morning. A remarkable medical breakthrough has taken place in New York City, where doctors have successfully performed a groundbreaking pig kidney transplant. Joining us with more details is our medical correspondent, Ethan Parker. Ethan, tell us about this historic procedure.
Thank you, Grace. According to NPR's reporting, 53-year-old Tawana Looney from Gadsden, Alabama, has become the latest and currently only living recipient of a genetically modified pig kidney transplant. This surgery, performed at NYU Langone Health, has freed her from 8 years of dialysis dependency.
What led Ms. Looney to need this experimental procedure?
Well, Grace, her story actually begins back in 1999, when she made the selfless decision to donate one of her kidneys to her mother. Later, she developed chronic high blood pressure during pregnancy, which led to the failure of her remaining kidney. By 2016, she required dialysis, and due to her immune system's high likelihood of rejection, she wasn't eligible for a traditional human kidney transplant.
Can you explain how this pig kidney was prepared for human transplantation?
Certainly. The kidney came from Revivicor, a Virginia-based biotech company. What makes this organ special is that it underwent 10 specific genetic modifications. To break this down for our viewers, 4 genes were removed and 6 were added. These changes were designed to prevent rejection and ensure compatibility with human recipients.
And how has Ms. Looney responded to the transplant?
The results have been very encouraging. The surgery, which was performed on November 25th, showed immediate success. The kidney began functioning and producing urine right after transplantation. While she did require a brief readmission for medication adjustments, she was initially discharged after just 11 days. Doctors expect her to return home to Alabama in about 2 months from now.
What about safety concerns, particularly regarding potential virus transmission?
That's a crucial point, Grace. Strict monitoring protocols are in place, including comprehensive screening of source animals and regular microbiological testing of the recipient. It's worth noting that this procedure was performed under compassionate use provisions, and Revivicor is currently seeking FDA approval for formal clinical trials, which could begin as early as next year.
Thank you, Ethan, for bringing us up to speed on this fascinating medical breakthrough.
Thank you, Grace.
That's all we have for now. Today's episode was made by Alexander King with Claude Sonnet 3.5, the Perplexity API, and the Google Cloud Text-to-Speech API. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow, Alex.